Everyone. Today I wanted to talk to you about something I've been doing for the last couple of weeks almost, and that is tracking my energy levels through the day. And I found that to be quite informative because I gathered a lot of data, and after analyzing it, I was able to sort of play around with the different tasks that I do at different times of the day. And now I feel like I'm in a place where I've sort of matched the tasks appropriately with my energy as it moves through the day. So I'm just being more productive. And I'm also like enjoying my days a lot more. So let me share with you in detail what exactly I did. So I sort of broke down the entire day into 1 hour segments and made note of how I felt energy wise and in terms of my focus for each of the hours. And it was interesting because I realized that I tend to be super productive a couple of hours after waking up. And since these days I wake up around 11 a.m., I tend to get super productive around 1 p.m. And that state lasts for about 4 to 5 hours. And after that, my mind feels like mush. So I'm in need of something different. And to reset my state, I move on to a physical activity. So I exercise basically while listening to audiobooks or like a podcast or something. And once I do that, it's already what 7 8 hours after I've woken up, and I tend to have like dinner and stuff. But after that is when I have like a slump in my energy. And interestingly, before I started tracking my energy levels, I was trying to get like an important work task done during that time. But as soon as I started tracking my energy and levels and focus, I realized that that's like the worst time to schedule a high impact, high importance activity. So that slump lasts for about a couple hours. After that, I tend to have another like spike in my focus. But by then, I'm not in a state where I'm able to focus too much, even though my energy levels are all right. And then, of course, it's time for bed. So, what I've started doing now is I've started scheduling the most important work, the important as well as urgent, in those 4 or 5 hours just after, not just after waking up, after a couple of hours after waking up. And that's been working out great. And I use Ultra Working app to create sprints. Not, yeah, sometimes it's sprints, but I do cycles. And if you're not aware of it, I would highly encourage you to go ahead and read up a little more about ultra working. I might share about that more in a different video. But basically, what I do is I plan out those 4 or 5 hours in half an hour chunks so that I know exactly what I'm going to get done. And I also know that I'm going to be in a high focus and energy state. So I'm just more optimistic and excited about getting the work done. And around 5:36 p.m. is when I go out for a run or I do yoga or HIT style workout, whatever the case may be. And around this time, which is 9 p.m. ish, I have dinner. And right now, I'm actually in my slump time, which is why I'm not getting started on my work again. So I'm recording this video. I might do some other low impact activities so that I have that feeling of productivity, but I'm not scheduling super high impact stuff during that time. And after that is when my energy levels go up, and that's when I've decided that I will socialize with people or just do some fun activities. Or if there is more work to be done, then I might choose to do stuff that doesn't require too much focus and concentration. This schedule feels really good to me because I feel like I've taken an intelligent approach. I have sort of studied my energy levels and my focus levels through the day. And I've also started making it a point to switch off my devices by 2 a.m. and take the time between 2 a.m. and 3 a.m. to do all my wind down activities like my end of day review, planning for the next day, getting whatever last minute stuff that doesn't require devices. And then by 3 a.m., I'm in bed, or if possible sooner. And I read in bed for maybe 20 minutes or so, or more, depending on when I've gotten in bed. And I'm finding that by around 3:30, 3:45 is when I fall asleep. What I'm going to do going forward is after I switch off devices at 2, by 2:30 I'm going to finish all the activities like my end of day review, and from 2:30 to 3 or 3:15 I'm going to read fiction in bed, and I want to be asleep at max by 3:30 because then waking up at 11 totally makes sense. And slowly I want to make that I want to change that time when I fall asleep to 3 a.m. so that I have like 8 solid hours of sleep, because I'm finding that invariably I'm waking up by 10:30 or 10:45. So I want to have at least 7.5 to 8 hours of sleep. That was my schedule, and I narrated all that so that you understand how I'm doing it in case it helps. And I'd so encourage you to also do this, to map out your energy and focus levels through your day. Do that for a few days. If you want to go a little more mathematical, you can also create like a graph out of it with time on the x-axis and energy and focus on the y-axis, and see how it changes. And honestly, it's different for different people, which is why it totally makes sense to understand how your body is and how your mind works in terms of energy and focus. For example, a friend of mine, she gets work done first thing in the morning because that's when she's most active, and I think she does that for like 4 or 5 hours. Whereas I have another friend who does all the other activities like exercising and chores and stuff first thing in the morning and gets started on work around afternoon. And then again, I have other friends who are not at all productive through the day and they start feeling more productive around 5 p.m. ish. That's towards like the second half of the day, right? So your body could be very different. Your energy schedule could be really different. And I would so encourage you to understand that and then map your tasks and activities and projects based on that. I found that it's really helpful to do that. Would highly encourage it. And if you do it, please do let me know how it goes for you. I'd love to understand. I'm just curious about how energy versus focus versus time works for different human beings. So I'd love to hear from you. Hope this was useful, and I'll see you in another video. Thanks so much for watching.